But this is one weakness that we have. Our members who go into parliament, because of the perception that politics is a dirty game, we take them to be dirty and we don't engage them. It's a big question. In our office, there was a publication that was to come out and we said it should not. The publication was when Muslims had a meeting in Kenya and discussed how they were able to increase their numbers in the last parliament and the target of the next parliament, how they will increase their numbers. One of us tried to put it in our newspaper and we said no, you do not do that. So, as Christians, yes, we have to work with everyone else, but we have to understand that when our members get into parliament, we don't allow them to put their Christianity aside. And when they come back from parliament, they go and pick it. We will need, that is the only way Africa can go forward. Respecting everyone else. That to be a parliamentarian also means to be truly Christian. And therefore to be truly Muslim. Thank you very much.
Do you want to talk?
Just a small comment.
Oh, yeah, make your small comment, very small, because it's past 6.
Yes, I was going to say that the perceived growth of Islam, there was a question to that effect. I think he's talked about catechets, and I'll just leave it there. But you need to realize that there is a lot of Islamic influence or presence politically, socially, economically, which can be translated to mean growth. And of course, we have a lot of immigrants, like in the last census, for instance, where a community in 10 years was just 900,000. Now you have 2.3 million you cannot account for. It is a big issue, but we have that complex situation. However, like I heard earlier this morning, there is a lot of Islamic presence in Kenya and in East Africa, which can be translated by other people to mean that Islam is growing. I do not want to say that it is not growing, but it is not as it is seen. Finally, on that political note, I think it is a challenge to all of us. And I was happy, we met somewhere with some of the politicians last month, and the Christian politicians particularly were saying, we need to work together both as Christians, Christian leaders, but also as Christian politicians. Because the moment there is no working together, one of the politicians, I will say the vice president was saying, it feels so bad when he speaks and he sounds as if he is contradicting his own pastor or his, and you know they have nicknamed him Watermelon because they say he's green on the outside and red in the inside because of the two colors of the referendum. But the question is, when the church has taken a position, when your conscience tells you you should not contradict them, what do you do? And that, I think, is a big question for all of us. What is the way forward, particularly on the political issue? Otherwise, Muslims will always have their way and have their say at the same time.
Well, thank you very much. For as long as politicians can consider Sharia just a religious matter and has nothing to do with politics, they will do nothing. Sharia has never had it as well as under President Obasanjo, who considers himself even a born-again pastor. It was under him that Sharia in Nigeria took wings and flew. When we sent him serious letters to tell him the consequences, he pushed it aside and said it will soon fizzle over. It fizzled over after over 1,000 or 500 deaths. Yes. And I wrote him later, someone must take responsibility for all these lives that were unnecessarily squandered. We are still there. And so even throughout that period of Sharia when they were killing people, it never featured in Parliament. It never featured in Parliament. So that means the people, and the Christians there, they didn't seem to. For them, they are talking about oil wells and how to share money and all that. That's what the study is, nothing about religion. So I think we have a job to do. I don't know whether the fault is with pastors who don't pastor well. Someone told me that, someone was saying there that the Catholic politicians listen to the Catholic bishops. Oh, they listen, yes, but it's one thing to listen, it's another to do what you tell them. Oh, they listen very nicely to me. Oh, Archbishop, that was very good. Thank you very much. But that's it. It stops there. They don't follow it up with action. And what do you do to them at that point? It's communicate them, maybe. You won't see communion again, but after that, they have no other sanction to against politicians. Or talk to the people to move them. It's a lot of work to do. Thank you very much. And that's rather that note we are ending today. And once again, you have been given a free evening. These group discussions have been dispersed off. If you want to do group discussion, any of you want group discussion, you can organize yourself. It is allowed. No, we will not forbid you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Archbishop. Shall we put our hands together for also our Archbishop, who has been a fantastic moderator. I know you are not done yet just for today. I'm not making a coup d'etat yet. We've got one day to go. And we have, from consultation around, people are very much asking, as we said, that let's have the evening to rest and to take in what we have had during the day. And we've also allowed time for discussion during the day. So I think that has been one of the reasons why we had this country studies, is so that we don't just have high-flying academic papers, but to have realities on the ground also described and presented, so that we have a very integrated kind of a piece of work that we are doing here. And I just want to also add that we can take this evening off tomorrow morning, and we can be on time, so we can have some time in the evening to discuss the way forward. If we can keep to the time tomorrow very strictly, we will have enough time in the evening to discuss the way forward, because so many issues have been thrown up here. That means that we have some very important issues, and just this evening, a very important issue is being thrown up again. And the question is not the politicians, it's the church's attitude towards politics. What is the Christian theology of politics? And African Christian, I think Peter asked that question. We can oppose Sharia, but what do we propose? Do we just simply go with a secular state? What is our proposal on the table? Christians don't have that. It's not the fault of the MPs. We don't have a theology. We don't have a consistent theology of politics. And I think these are issues that we need to discuss. So if we can all stand on our feet and stretch ourselves and then ask someone